Welcome to The Way Home with Laura Smith, the show that brings you wonderful guests, helpful advice, and uplifting stories. The Way Home. Live inspired.
Give me your love, give me your love. My wish was crying through a city rain. I'm walking barefoot by Upper West Side Street, trying to end my pain. Your love is all I need. Oh, if you wanna love me, if you wanna love me, if you wanna hold me again, if you wanna love me, if you wanna love me, then baby just come home. If you wanna love me, if you wanna love me, if you wanna hold me again, if you wanna love me, if you wanna love me, then baby just come home.
You're listening to The Way Home with Laura Smith. Here's Laura.
A beautiful, beautiful rendition of a song that has a lot of jazz overtones and undertones to it from someone who has been, well, in the music business for, I don't know, for many, many more decades than I've even known her. She's an international Hall of Fame inductee into in songwriting, producing, visual artist. She has more albums that we're even going to be talking about today and really focusing on. But because last month, just a few days ago, April was International Jazz Month, Appreciation of Jazz Month. For me, every month is Appreciation of Jazz Month because it's probably my favorite type of music there is, especially when you infuse it with other cultures. No one does this better than Yola Nash. Yola, thank you for joining us. This has been, I think this will be your third time now on The Way Home in 7 years.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to connect with you and your show and your wonderful audience. So I'm so delighted to be here.
Yeah, jazz is, to me, it's so special. It never goes out because it incorporates really not only many genres and types of music, but for decades. Like my father was a jazz aficionado and so many people before that. And think about 100 years, the jazz that was being played. It's truly an American creation of music. And yet it captures the heart and soul of so many nations, so many countries. And you do that as well. You're a Polish singer and a person who was born in Poland, but you've lived so many years in America now. I know you identify with being an American as well, but your music transcends all of these cultures. With your album Manhattan Whispers, you go to so many different places with your music in terms of culturally, and infuse those instrumentations into all the different jazz that you do. Tell us about Manhattan Whispers again, because I just think it's a perfect sample of really what your type of music is all about, and it's all original.
Well, that album was born out of many years of experiences and experimentation with different genres and different experiences with music, because all the way back in Poland when I was in college and when I was in my high school, I was singing pop music and classical music. I wanted to be an opera singer. And the day I was supposed to pass the biggest exam, I got sick. So I'm not an opera singer. And today I say, thank God.
Yes, that would not be easy to be keeping that up all these years. Yes. So I didn't realize that you also enjoyed opera.
Yes, my brother is an opera singer, so we had this something about classical music in our family, some genes, I guess. But anyway, all of these elements came together, all of these experiences, and talking about jazz became this international bridge between people who, I would say, who were longing for freedom of expression, freedom in general, freedom of thinking, freedom in art, and in just everyday life. So as you have mentioned, I was born and grew up in Poland during the communistic regime. And people have no idea, no one who has this kind of experience can even imagine what it means and what it was. That's why this whole experience connects me with jazz, with this freedom infused in it. So during the communistic time, I want to mention this to your audience because it's super interesting fact. Throughout the history, when people were fighting for freedom, for culture, for language, for expression, imagine that after World War II, when communistic regime grabbed Poland, jazz was completely forbidden, and even the saxophone itself was forbidden by the state, so you couldn't play. People who were trying to listen to that music or play were blacklisted or imprisoned. So this is so surreal today, how this is possible. What in the world? But it was true, and it was because the freedom in that music inspired people's thinking and courage and gave hope and gave this sparkling light, I would say. And that's why, the communistic regime wanted to crush it completely. And that's why when I first started learning about jazz, I was in college when I first got my first, jazz music. It was Louis Armstrong, actually.
Yes.
So then when I came to New York, I was so hungry for jazz. I wanted to explore this music. And I started learning and taking vocal classes and with, famous professors in New York City, paying my own hard-made money for it to educate myself, to explore. And I was listening like nonstop, 8 hours while I was sleeping. I put my headphones on and I was constantly kind of bathing my mind, my soul, and my heart into that music because it meant to me something more than music and artistic expression. It was more. It was something that connected my soul with my heritage and where I came from, that longing for hope, for freedom. So that's why it means so much to me. And then I connected this with the love of other genres that I have done in the past, which is pop music and Parisian flavor, gypsy Parisian flavor to it, using accordion and bringing that flavor, and Latin, because my music director and pianist is absolutely amazing in that genre. He's from Puerto Rico, Edsel Gomez, Grammy-winning, amazing musician. So that's how it came together. And if you want to know one more interesting fact about this album, Manhattan Whispers, I remember when I had all the music written, I was writing and it's a challenge and it's excitement, but it's all uncertain. You don't know how it's going to form itself at the end. So I remember when most of the things were ready and I was working with my music director, Edsel Gomez, I said, I hear a trumpet like on the tap as a texture of everything that we have here. And he's like, nope, I don't hear trumpet here. Trumpet is not for you. I said, what are you talking about? I love trumpet. I admire trumpet. I just love it. It has to be there. He's like, no. You have to bring accordion. It's in your soul. And I used to play accordion a little bit. And it's in your soul. It's in your culture. It's in your genes. And it's beautiful. And I said, come on, I will not do it. People is going to laugh at me in New York. Here's this Polish singer bringing accordion. Hello, ha, ha, ha. But I was like, and then he says, no. Accordion has this beauty in it. It's forgotten. And now it's becoming more and more, rediscovered, and it has this amazing harmony and flavor. So let's just do it. And I was like, let me go home and think about it. Then I went home and thinking, I love accordion. My whole family loves accordion. My grandpa, when after the World War II, he loved accordion so much that he sold his horse to buy an accordion. And my grandma almost like killed him because he came home, instead of bringing money, he brought an accordion, like a beautiful one from Germany. And so this was like one of those stories. He was hiding this accordion behind his bed for so long until she one day discovered. And every time I would visit them, he would play me some melodies, some songs. So I have this
Wow.
amazing, I don't know, beautiful energy
Connection.
with my friend.
Yes.
Yes.
That
So
is
all together
incredible.
like that.
That is incredible. First of all, it's an incredible story to just imagine your grandfather doing something that must have been after War II,
Yeah.
so incredibly, it must have been almost scandalous for the family, but
Yeah.
he felt he was a musician, obviously, in his soul, and he had to do it. So I think your music director, Edsel Gomez, was absolutely correct on that, because when you listen to Manhattan Whispers and you hear the faint, you'll bring it in just faintly, the accordion, and there's something so almost sublime about the sound. It gives you goosebumps. It's almost like it part of it makes me feel like I'm in Paris. Another part of it makes me feel like you said Polish. I used to be a producer of a Polish polka show
Wow.
for 3 years. It was the oldest polka show in the United States, and I was the
Wow.
producer of that. So every weekend I was exposed to the accordion and that kind of music, and to me it's very touching. And I love this story. When you talk about jazz being really symbolic of freedom itself,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think most of us can even fathom. And there's a lot of talk about it, in the country right now. Some of the rumblings and underpinning in the country right now of like talks of, leaning socialistic, and then which really eventually trickles into communism and stuff. And people are warning that the
Yes.
signs are there. It feels to me so dangerous. And like, if people experienced what you experience, Yola Nash, they would never be playing with it, because
Yeah.
it's so frightening, and it's just everything that we are against, as Americans, in terms of what life should be and our God-given rights and freedom and everything else. So you really bring up something for us to think about. And your album, again, Yola Nash, the album is Manhattan Whispers. And because April was Jazz Appreciation Month, and because you have so much jazz in your, not only in your music, but also in your singing, but you've brought in all these cultural aspects from different countries into the album. Really, it's almost like going around the world a bit, hearing
Mm-hmm.
Whispers, but because you've been based in New York and New York City now for many, many years, decades, actually, you've got a bit of everything. And I think it's a testament to who you are culturally and your background, but also for people who listen to it. And I know that you made it onto some of the smooth jazz charts with the
Yeah.
album, and you've gotten awards for it, and magazines have talked about, really all the special things about the record. And is this something that you are going to, because I know you're always writing music. I've known you for many years. You're always writing music. Are you taking the same type of feel of jazz, of multicultural jazz and music and culture into your next album? Or are you thinking of something completely different?
No, like I have mentioned, this is the moment where I know that's my genre, that's my direction. And actually, the interesting thing is, all the way up to now, up to like a year and a half ago, I would believe, there was no category for my music, because it's a crossover. It's blurring and blending the lines between genres and bringing all the beauties from different genres. So there was no category, and it was very hard to have this music in certain places, like on in different awards categories. Like, for instance, Grammy Awards, it was considered for a Grammy. Thank you, Lord. Unbelievable achievement as well. Like, who would think?
Brava. That's wonderful. Yeah.
But anyway, the reason I'm humbling, like looking with such a humble feeling at this, because the Grammy didn't have a category for me. So, and quite a few people in jazzy field doing similar things, like they blending and bringing their cultures, and there was no category. So we people like us would always lose, because like we're not strictly jazz, we're not strictly Latin, we're not strictly pop or anything else. So finally, like a year and a half ago, I believe, the jazz, Grammy Awards, they created a category. It's called alternative jazz. Yes.
Love it.
So now I can fit into that category.
That's fantastic. Alternative
Yes.
jazz. Well, that,
Yes.
actually, it's not that hard to think of it as being just exactly that, alternative jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when smooth jazz came out, I still am. I love smooth jazz, and people make fun of me. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. This reminds me of growing up. I grew up in Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
where the bossa nova, that's how old I am. It was just coming out and in the 60s, and it changed jazz
Mm-hmm.
forever. Forever it changed jazz, this bossa nova. And it took a while for people to understand that it was indeed jazz, even though it doesn't sound like traditional American jazz in any way whatsoever, but it has that smooth sort of like Manhattan Whisper kind of vibe to it. It's still jazz, but it's alternative, and so good. I love that you prompted them to create a new category, which just means to tell me that you have a Grammy yet in your future. So that's exciting. You're in the middle of writing the new album, are you?
Yes, I've been working. I have tons of songs written already, because I've been writing since I started when I was like 12 years old, which is like an exercise. It's nothing meaningful. But for last, I would say 17 years or so, I've been writing a lot of songs and many notebooks full of songs. But many of those songs will never see the world, because that's their function, just to be there, express something. But the newest ones, I would say I have probably 60 songs that I can pick from, and also writing new ones in relation to what is going on in the world. I see so much, hardship, and people are afraid, and people are looking for inspiration and positive energy and some kind of light that will kind of fire up their dreams. So some of my songs that I'm writing right now will connect with that kind of spirit, giving you hope and beautiful energy for life. Never, never, ever, ever give up. This has been my motto. So it's going to be flying through all of those notes that I'm writing and all of those lyrics and stuff. And in terms of instruments, I think I'm going to stick with the same idea, and I will go deeper, exploring more, probably maybe use electric bass. But the interesting thing is that I want to point out, and maybe this would inspire some of your wonderful listeners. Remember when I first started writing the music for this album, I remember some of my friends and good people, musicians, producers, they said, "Oh, you're using accordion and it's like a mixture of many things. Who's going to listen to it? It's not going to be it's not sellable. No one's going to sell it. You will go nowhere. No one will pick on it. It's just completely different. There's no category." So it was so discouraging to hear that. Painful for me, but I said to myself, no, I will not listen to anybody. This is in my heart. I feel it strongly. I got to do it. And I had support from Edsel, my music director, and I went straight for my idea. And look what happened. I thought I was fighting for this particular idea with my music for quite a long time. And look what happened when I was informed and received later a Hall of Fame for these achievements in music. It was specifically in the category for originality in music, and they specifically emphasized multicultural influences and all of those different, heritage elements that I brought from around the world, like you mentioned. So who knew? If I didn't listen to my heart, didn't follow my instinct for my own voice, my own music, my own style, it would have never happened.
That's right.
Unbelievable. So always stick to your beautiful inner voice And I always say, always be yourself. Like for me, it was the most difficult thing to be myself in New York City, to be who you are, because you always want to fit in a new environment. I didn't speak English. I didn't know anybody when I came here after college. I had to survive and establish, kind of my life and prove who I am. But I never betrayed my talents and who I am as a person, and my morals or my ethics or my integrity as a person. And I stuck with it. And look, when you stick with who you are, this unique, beautiful person that God made you, you're going to achieve any dream. Your dreams are possible. If you betray your dreams and copy people or steal from people, you will not go far.
That's
so
right.
I hope that will inspire someone. Just dream big and be you.
Be you and
Yes.
be unafraid to be yourself. And,
Yes.
but you learned that kind of in the hard way, as you mentioned, coming to America, practically penniless. I remember your story over many dinners that we had in New York when I was living there. And you came up, it's really almost like you could make a movie out of your life, truly. And I encourage you to write that book. I've been telling you this also for years and years. You need to write that book because your story is one of courage, of living through communist regime in Poland, and then coming to America with no money, with no English, with no skills, and not knowing a soul. And you did it. You did it. And not only did you do it, but you made your dreams a reality. And for many, that's what New York stands for. I kind of had the same thing, even though I'm back in Indiana, which is where I was born, and I love it here so very much. I'm so happy I came home. It was the best decision I could have made. But 42 years in New York, that is something, it's a very much, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, just like the song says.
True.
And it forces you to dig very, very deep because you feel like you are one in a sea of millions of people trying to achieve the same thing, but it's all individual. And like you said, when you listen to your own heart, to your own voice, to your own inner guidance.
Yes.
And, I know you have strong faith in God, all of it mixed together. You end up succeeding and doing what you love and achieving this great joy. Well, the album again is called Manhattan Whispers. It is it's like going around the world and hearing, all these cultures infused into one beautiful record. I think we should go out on one of my favorite songs.
Flavor.
The Latin flavor, yes, for my nod to growing up in Brazil. And also, by the way, Yola Nash, it has wonderful videos. Check out her website, yolanash.com. Yola Nash, and Yola is Yola Nash, how it sounds, Nash, yolanash.com. See her beautiful videos, get her music, buy her music, download her music, do what you can, and be on the lookout because she's got another album brewing inside of her. I can see it, and I can absolutely hear it. It's going to be beautiful yet again. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Ever since the first time I had you on my show 7 years ago, I felt like it was so much more than just speaking with a musician, which is exciting. It's speaking with someone who has lived a life with a story to tell that inspires others to live their dreams and to be all they can be. Yola Nash, you are inspiration and music and art all together. Thank you for being on the show yet again.
Thank you so much. It touches my heart to hear all of these beautiful words from you because this is our dream to make our life meaningful. And if my life and my story and my music that comes from deep from my heart, if those elements can touch people's hearts and inspire someone maybe to achieve their dreams, that's the greatest that can happen. And I am so grateful and to you. And I start my day every day with gratitude to God. And I'm always grateful to you and your beautiful energy. And I send my big hugs to everybody in your audience and keep following your dreams and never give up.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much. God bless you, Yola Nash. Introduce the song we're going to go out on.
The song is entitled I Still Love You.
Ah, well, I love you too. Yola Nash, everyone. Enjoy.
Even though I know my heart's been deeply broken, but everywhere I go, I feel your words unspoken. And everything I do reminds me of you. And every song I hear somehow relates to you. You're the one who broke my heart. You're the reason my world fell apart. You're the one who made me cry. Yet I still love you and I don't know why. You're the one who broke my heart. You're the reason my world fell apart. You're the one who made me cry. Yet I still love you and I don't know why. Walking home tonight, my thoughts were only of you. And in the rain I tried drowning these memories. I'm biting on my lips, longing for your kiss. Somehow it melts away the blackness of this pain. You're the one who broke.
Thank you all for listening to The Way Home this week and to my wonderful guests. And may you all have a wonderful week that is safe, that's happy, healthy, and full of lots of miracles as well. I'm Laura Smith. See you next time from The Way Home.
Podcasts by Federated Media.